Billy here, doing the results of the best class in the game by itself testing. Now for the test, I did all 11 classes plus a bonus class of being classless, and had all of them went through with the same stuff, went through low sum with a very tiny bit in between each class. They are only allowed to use what their starting weapons would be and their starting outfits would be, for the most part. And ran through to try to kill the Duck King and see who made it, who failed along the way. So this is the results of that. So first off, classless. This was not using a class where we have to pick a class, but we're using the default start out stuff that's not a class items. And I did Explorer since it's easily the worstest class in the entire game. So it made the best class for a classless one. And needless to say, classless lost. And then Explorer attempted it. Explorer lost. Every class made it to the final boss. Just some failed to beat it, some beat it. Then Archon went. Archon failed to beat the final boss. Medic went. Medic beat the final boss. Hunter went. Hunter failed. Challenger went. Challenger failed. Handler went. Handler passed. Alchemist went. Alchemist passed. Engineer went. Engineer passed. Summoner went. Summoner passed. Gunslinger went. Gunslinger passed. And Invader went. And Invader passed. So, this one, this one, this one, this one, and the classless all failed. So those 5 ruled out for best class by itself. Now, that leaves us with Medic, Handler, Alchemist, Engineer, Summoner, Gunslinger, and Invader. And when it comes to best class, Invader and Gunslinger has high damage, but didn't do well for survivability. So they are definitely down there. Summoner, same goes. He only passed because of the crossbow. But his healing and stuff and abilities weren't really all that helpful. So, Engineer, Alchemist, Handler, and Medic is still in, who I think is the best. Which, keep in mind, this is just personal opinion. You can like a class, and it's fine. Now, the Alchemist had the advantage of no stagger, but beyond that, not really anything too good, so it falls. Handler did pretty good for having the dog be able to take care of most of the threats, but when it comes to bosses, dog can only revive you and deal damage to the boss, but it's not going to distract the boss to help keep you alive, so those 2 are out. So, we got Engineer and Medic. The Medic ability is quite good for healing, but the problem is, once you're out, you're kinda dead. The LMG is very strong, but I would say it's the second best to start out with, which leaves us with which one I think is the best, which is Engineer. Hands down, Engineer is the best. Now, if you're just starting the game for the first time, you will only have access to Medic, Hunter, Challenger, handler, and if you bought the Ultimate Edition, gunslinger. And out of that lineup, definitely pick the medic. It's definitely the best out of the starters. But once you get the engineer is just very solid. A very good, accurate 3-round burst primary weapon, and a 12-round shotgun pistol that can snipe, and the ability to summon in a powerful turret and overclock it to just obliterate everything, and the ability to survive quite a bit of hits. It's easily very strong. On top of that, you can place the turret down and focus on heals and shooting with your primary weapon while your turret's doing passive damage. It's by far the best. But that's where I would rate it. Now keep in mind, some of these you might rate more than others. There might be somebody that thinks Explorer is the best class. If so, yeah, I'm definitely not agreeing. This is easily the worst. In fact, I feel like I was better classless than with this class. But anyways. Because Explorer just don't have nothing for survivability. But, yeah, that was the results. Now, each one of these classes is special and unique. I definitely do recommend acquiring all 11 of the classes and max leveling them, because they're all special, unique. But this was just to see which one, if you start a brand new game, would hold out well for solo. And if you want to use these results to try to help yourself get a head start in hardcore, which hopefully this sets you up for it, engineer would definitely be my pick. Also, I would recommend, once you do pick the engineer, go ahead and unlock the medic as your secondary, which I'll quickly show right now. So let's select the engineer, who I definitely feel is the best, especially in the primary slot, because the medic right now don't have too much dragon hearts to really regen dragon hearts back. But then you would just come way over here and go to this person.
You know, you're lucky. Pretty much. There ain't much, of course.
And right there's the medic class.
Never seen anything like this before. I should ask Wallace.
And then just take it all the way up to Wallace, but you will need some Luminite crystals, so you gotta kill a few elites first before you can use it. But once you get the crystals, or somebody sells you the crystal, just take it to Wallace.
They don't like.
Go ahead and craft it, and right here it will cost 5, and that will give you the medic class for dual classing. And these two are very strong dual classed. They survive quite well, have good DPS, good survivability, great healing. They got a good mixture. So definitely would recommend. And then as you see right here, having this, you can deal quite a bit of damage, which this is really good damage for early on, and this damage just gets higher and higher as you level up and use better equipment. But right there is 6,000 damage easily. Or you could just go like this, and with the 100 bullets that you already got, a nice 3,000, which is pretty good. Now yes, that's maximum, and I'll show you less than maximum. Alright, just gotta wait for the ability to come back. Just a little bit more. We'll go here. So let's say that you're doing a little bit less than maximum. So you're hitting multiple opponents, a little bit here, a little bit there, no real headshots anywhere. That's still 911 damage I dealt, while dealing quite a bit of damage to these. And you combine that with some normal damage, and a couple hits here and there. Even without really focusing too much fire on this, I was able to do 1,500 pretty much. So, very solid damage. And good survivability too. So this is what I would recommend to use as the best class. Now, this is recommended for getting you through hardcore. Now, you might have your own ideas on what you like. Maybe you want to do engineer, but you want to go something like this with like elder, so you can actually dodge. Whoops. So you can actually dodge quicker. That's perfectly good. Also, keep in mind, although the dodge is like this, that does not matter. With your dodge, you're not trying to get anywhere with your dodge. The whole point of the dodge is the iframe. So if they're just now hitting you, you can dodge, and they will miss their attacks. And this is actually one of the better ways to dodge, because even with the light dodge, you got a few seconds before you can dodge again. With this, dodge, 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 dodge. Way faster iframe usage. Combine that with like the invader longer window, and if you wanted to, better dodge range, and you could dodge decently far with it while still being quick and dodge multiple attacks with ease. Very good for taking care of bosses. But that's what I would recommend. If you guys enjoyed this, that's good. I'll see you guys on the next video.